Welcome back to the channel. Today's journey takes us deep into the heart of lived wisdom, not just theory, not just philosophy, but direct experience. We are diving into what Buddhist monks, those who have stepped away from worldly indulgence and walked into the silence of forests, temples, and their own minds, have learned about karma, the craving for sensual pleasure. This is not about dogma. It's about clarity. Not about ascetic denial, but about insight that breaks the cycle of compulsive wanting. These lessons have been preserved, practiced, and passed on for over 500 years, not because monks are superhuman, but because they've chosen to study the very forces that most people spend their lives chasing or avoiding. Let's enter their world and emerge with truths that can change how we live, right now. Lesson 1. Desire doesn't die, but it can be disarmed. One of the most honest things a monk ever told me was this: even after years of training, desire still arises. The difference is, it no longer commands me. This is a radical insight. The goal isn't to eradicate karma, it's to see through it. Monks learn that desire is like a mirage. It promises satisfaction, paints beautiful pictures, ignites energy. But when you get close, the water disappears, the thirst returns. So they train not to fight the mirage, but to stop running after it. Instead of saying, "I must not desire," they say, "I must not be fooled." That shift from suppression to clarity is everything. Lesson 2. The body is not the problem. Clinging is. Many assume monks reject the body. They don't. They understand it deeply. They honor its needs. They care for it with attention and gratitude. But they refuse to worship it. Monks meditate on the impermanence of the body, not to despise it, but to stay grounded. They see it as a tool, not a temple of pleasure. They reflect on aging, decay, sickness, and death, not to breed fear, but to break the spell of illusion. So when desire rises for a body, anidas or their own, they remember, this too is fleeting. Bones, flesh, warmth, all fading. This view doesn't dull their capacity to love. It refines it. What remains is respect, compassion, tenderness without possession. Lesson 3. Stillness reveals what stimulation hides. Monks live in simplicity for a reason. The fewer distractions, the clearer the mind. Most people are so overstimulated that they can't tell the difference between restlessness and desire. They think they want pleasure, but what they really want is peace. They just don't know how to access it. Stillness is the medicine. When a monk sits in silence, cravings roar. But with time, they settle. Beneath the noise, there's quiet. Beneath the wanting, there's sufficiency. Stillness exposes the root of desire, and in exposing it, weakens it. Lesson 4. Desire peaks before it breaks. Here's a trick monks use when desire feels overwhelming: they wait. Why? Because they've learned that desire often gets loudest right before it collapses. It builds, intensifies, screams for attention. And then if not fed, it breaks, like a wave hitting the shore. This teaches endurance. It builds trust. It shows that you don't need to act on every impulse. Monks don't conquer desire. They outlast it. Lesson 5. Every craving is a teacher. Desire is data. When monks feel the pull of karma, they ask, what is this pointing to? Sometimes it points to fatigue, sometimes loneliness, sometimes insecurity, sometimes memory. Every craving carries a message. Something inside wants attention. Monks don't ignore the message. They read it. They use karma as a mirror, not a master. It shows them where they are led, unawakened, unaware. This is one of the most transformative insights from the monastic path. Desire isn't an obstacle. It's a syllabus. Lesson 6. Renunciation isn't deprivation, it's refinement. From the outside, it may seem like monks are missing out. No romance, oh chocolate, oh parties. But speak with them, and they'll tell you the opposite. By removing excess, they access subtler joys. The taste of plain rice becomes rich. The feel of wine becomes profound. The breath becomes a symphony. They've recalibrated joy not upward into intensity, but inward into sensitivity. You don't need more to feel more. You need less noise to hear the quiet beauty that's already there. Lesson 7. Joy beyond pleasure as real and better. Ask any long-time monk, what is the deepest happiness you've known? They won't say a sensory thrill. They'll say something like the peace of no craving, the joy of letting go, the freedom of not needing anything. This is piety sukha apekkeha, the joy of meditative absorption, of loving kindness, of equanimity. These joys don't spike, they sustain. They don't leave you hollow, they leave you full. They aren't loud, but they last. And here's the good news, you don't have to be a monk to touch them. You just have to start asking different questions. Instead of, what do I want? Ask, what's beneath this want? Instead of, how do I get more pleasure? Ask, how do I train my mind to be free? Instead of, how do I satisfy this craving? Ask, what's it like to let it pass without acting? Monks are not superhuman. They are people who have chosen to look desire in the eye and not blink. They've chosen stillness over stimulation, truth over fantasy, depth over distraction. And in doing so, they've learned what most people never will. That freedom is not found in satisfying every craving. It's found in not needing to. That's the mind-blowing truth about karma from those who have lived it. Thank you for watching this video. If any of these lessons touched something in you, let me know in the comments. What desire has taught you the most? What have you learned by not following it? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and come back for more insights from the wisdom traditions that teach us how to live not just well, but wisely. Until next time, may your mind be clear, your heart be open, and your desires be your teachers, not your chains.